ride my motorcycle and just stopped to shoot some baskets down at the school. I figure I pay taxes, enough taxes, that I can shoot baskets. Behind the brim shot. Oh, twist. I heard something.
I'll play basketball.
Hit what? Hit that building?
No, hit the asphalt over there.
Oh.
That's bad.
That's not bad.
Okay, Adirondacks for me here. I just trimmed some trees here that were hanging over the power lines that eventually will get turned back on. Right now all these lines are dead. But this guy wire has been loose. And it's got a clamp assembly up at the top. There is no adjustable down the bottom that I can see. Don't feel like digging a hole to see if there's one under the ground. So I've loosened the clamp assembly up there and put a come along on it. I'm just trying to, this heavy duty guy wire, I'm just trying to put another little bit of a U in it just to take a little bit of the slack out of this guy wire. There's a little bit of slop in it, so just tightening it up a little bit. I'm going to be changing out the power distribution box down here below with a little bit more modern setup. This had screw-in fuses. Mine's going to have circuit breakers. And it's going to run basically an underground line to my jet pump down below, down the hill. And it's going to be in a trench going over to a 30 amp hookup for my RV eventually. So I got to dig a trench, and then I got to run a water line from the pump up here to make a spigot for the RV to be able to be hooked up, and then a 30 amp receptacle over there with a breaker in order to basically hook up my RV eventually. Bring the guy wire down, bend a new loop on the end here. This stuff is just too heavy duty to try to bend with any tension on it. Hopefully I can, as you can see, that loop has got to be moved probably at least, oh, I don't know, I'm going to go with probably 3 inches. That way I can make up the slack with the eye bolt tightening up. So let's see if I can get a new loop in that thing. I'm going to shut you off for right now. Okay, I was able to get a new loop in there by using the come along in the truck and a C-clamp, a block of wood. Right now I'm tightening up the eye bolt going through the pole to get the cable taut. And once it's taut, I'll be done. I can take the C-clamp and the block of wood off there that's on there right now. Remember, there's no power in these lines. There's no meter down below. It's been disconnected for 25 years, maybe longer. I hear the ambulance going. Alright, I like that guy wire now a lot better. It was kind of sloppy before, but now it's tight. So the line going over to the next pole, I got a guy wire on that last pole, so I think I'm going to tighten that up a little bit and raise this line over here. With the line going down that way, it looks good. Alright. Next, it's going to be putting a new service box on this pole. Alright, so I'll shut you off for now. Be back later. Okay, so I got the truck parked over here. I was using the hitch from that to pull the come along, tighten up that guy wire. So that guy wire now is pretty taut. And goes up to the top of that pole up there. Hopefully you can see it. Now I'm going to go over to the next pole towards the building and just tighten that guy wire up a little bit and take the loop out of that, the sag out of that other line going over. Alright, and that's going to be over that away. So we'll move over there and get that done. Okay, this is the guy wire I had moved from a pole over the other direction that's no longer going to be used. I moved this guy wire over here. I did a previous video on this where I had to dig a deep hole and put the anchoring assembly down in the hole and then fill the hole with rocks to set this guy wire up. So I'm just going to tighten up this turnbuckle here a little bit and hopefully take a little bit of the sag out of that cable, power cable going over that pole I just worked at. Oh, I believe that is tightening it. See how it looks. Doesn't take much. It looks better. Check the pole. Alright, I think that's going to be good. I'll swing you around here on the tripod. It swings a lot better than me, so. Anyways. Alright, that's going to be it for tightening this up. Let's get to work on that junction box. Okay, what I'm going to do first is get this all disconnected. It was, not sure who set it up, but not a perfect setup, but it's 55 years old. They might have done things different back then, but anyways, I'm going to just try to reuse the upper coupler in the new box. I looked for one locally and couldn't find one. Couldn't find one online either, so I'm probably looking in the wrong place. But the wire coming down is probably, I don't know, at least one up, maybe less. Maybe a minus one. That's a big cable. Made a big hole. So I'll probably be punching out the 1.5 inch. Which I assume that's what this one is as well. This is a great ladder, but these ladders are heavy. Alright, I'm going to change the position a little bit of it. Make it a little bit different. There we go. Alright. Let's see if I can, I sprayed the top unit earlier with some blaster. Hopefully it's loosened it up a little bit. Well, that one's loose. So I just want to see how loose this is, whether it loosens up at all or not. Yeah. So that blaster stuff works good. Alright, so now I know I can loosen it. That was actually a fuse box. This is where my pump, my jet pump, well pump, ties in. In fact, this is the plug that goes down there, underground cable. So this is going to get rerouted directly into the box versus this pigtail setup they had. It does have a screw-in circular fuse. It's a 20 amp. So coming down from the top where they tied in, it's only single phase. So let me go get a screwdriver to get this face off of here. Gotta put my glasses on. It's a bummer when you get old and have to put your glasses, use glasses. I'll probably reuse these. I'm going to be using electrical PVC. Pick them up down into the ground, 18 inches I think is code. And I'm going to be burying the new, well, this existing cable I'm not going to do anything with, but the new cable going over to my spot where I'm going to set the RV up is I'm going to be down 24 inches with some, put tape in the hole so somebody's digging, they don't dig up my cable. Alright, drop the screw. Not really important, I'm not going to be reusing this box, but I'll put it back together, set it aside. You never know, I might need a box for something later. Alright, one more screw here. You know what, I'm going to get some more blaster for inside here. Looks like there's some corrosion in there. Hit the blaster will help. That way I don't have to cut any cables. I think my cable lengths are probably about perfect for the existing new box. gonna be able to reuse the wire, underground wire going to the jet pump, and utilize the wire coming down from the tie-in up top. All right, let's see if we can loosen up some. Grab the other battery real quick. Uh, you know, we break these damn bits off that are cheap crap. Waiting for the next bit to snap off, but I think that's actually loose now. I'd probably break every bit if I didn't use the blaster. There we go. Oh, brother. Alright, I'm going to shut you off because I'm going to be struggling with this. There's some pieces in there I want to be able to save, so I've got to come up with something. Okay, had a divil of a time. This is an adapter that came off the old box. I actually had to cut it off. That's a sleeve that I believe screws into the bigger sleeve, 1.5 inch. And I did everything possible, heat, PB blaster, monkey wrenches. Could not get that apart in order to get utilize this old piece. But I did go to the hardware and find some other pieces that I could modify to basically utilize the old clamp assembly, waterproof, for the wire coming down from the top of the pole. So that's all set, ready to go. So now I'm just adding a few things. There's a ground screw that goes here. I got to scrape the paint off this to get the chassis to ground. This is the ground that comes out that goes to the ground, to the ground rod in the ground. So that's all set up. So I'm ready to go over and to the pole now and mount this up. It does have, what this does have is this is a 30 amp, 120 volt, 3-prong RV plug. A lot of people screw this up and think this is a 240 plug like a dryer. It is not. It is 120 volt, 30 amp. And then I've got just a regular outlet for with a 20 amp breaker for receptacle. I'm probably not going to utilize these, but they are there on the pole if I do need them. I'm going to tie into the 30 amp breaker to run wire. I think I got to run it around 200 feet, a little more. So I'm going to drop down to probably 8 gauge copper wire to make that long run because of the voltage drop. So eventually I'll dig a ditch for that and lay that 8 gauge wire plus my water line will all go in that ditch out to the point where I'm going to set up a platform for the RV. Okay, this got a metal conduit on here. I'm going to replace that because I'm going to go directly into the bottom of the box with the electrical PVC and just make it a little bit neater. So this is the underground cable going to the jet pump. This is the wires coming down from the top of the pole. I think they're, like I said, I think they're 4 or 6 aught with a ground cable. And then here's the pipe here going down. So I'm going to start digging this up. I'll basically feed this wire through the box, get the box mounted this way. It's a lot easier to do this cable in through the bottom than this stuff through the top. So we'll get that taken care of first. Alright, so I'm going to shut you off because it's boring and you don't want to watch me dig a hole. I'll be back in a little while. Okay, got the box mounted. Now I'm just wiring up the inside of the box. Going to be putting, like I said, a 1-inch PVC going down into the ground. So I'm going to finish this up and get as much done as I can today. And we'll come back to it and show you what the progress is later. Thanks. Okay, I'm back next day. I got my PVC pipe run down into the ground. And I've got my 10 gauge jet pump wire up through and hooked up the top, so I can run that. I'll run the other wire at a later date for my RV out on the point when I put a outlet out there, a 30 amp 3-prong 120 volt outlet out there, so that's for future. But I got the cable all dressed up all the way up to the top and secured the old cable, and everything is good inside the box now. It's all closed up. I can run my pump with the generator and we're good to go for now. So just wanted to give you a quick shot of that completed work, and now on to other things. Talk to you soon.